What if the way you react to disrespect is silently destroying your reputation, without you even noticing? Most people think disrespect is about the other person, but it's not. It's a test of your control, your standards, and your true character, because in a single moment of disrespect, you either rise above or you reveal exactly who you are. And the worst part, most people fail this test instantly by reacting in ways that make them look weak, emotional, and predictable. But Stoic philosophy offers a different path, a path where silence becomes power, where restraint becomes authority, and where your reaction becomes your reputation. Today, you'll learn the 5 things you must never do when disrespected, because one wrong reaction, one moment of lost control can cost you something that takes years to rebuild. Respect. Marcus Aurelius wrote that you have power over your mind, not outside events, yet most people give that power away in seconds. All it takes is one careless comment, one dismissive look, one moment where someone crosses a line, and suddenly your emotions take over. This is why the Stoics treated self-control as a form of strength, not weakness. Seneca warned that the person who cannot govern themselves will always be governed by others. And Epictetus reminded us that it is not what happens to us, but how we interpret it, that defines our experience. Disrespect is not the real problem. Your reaction is, because every time you respond without awareness, you are training people how to treat you. And more importantly, you are reinforcing the kind of person you are becoming. Behavior 1. Never react in the heat of the moment when someone disrespects you. Your body reacts before your mind does. Your chest tightens, your thoughts accelerate, your ego starts searching for something to say. Something sharp, something immediate, something that restores your sense of control. But that impulse is exactly where most people lose everything, because reacting in the heat of the moment is not power. It is exposure. It reveals that your internal state can be controlled by external triggers, and once people see that they know exactly how to provoke you again, the Stoic does something different. They pause, not because they are weak, but because they understand that the first reaction is rarely the best one. They create distance between the event and their response, and in that space, they regain authority over themselves. Imagine your mind as a fortress. Every impulsive reaction is like opening the gate for anyone who knows how to knock hard enough, but discipline keeps that gate closed. It forces others to face your silence, your composure, your control, and that is far more intimidating than any emotional response could ever be. Behavior 2. Never over-explain yourself when someone questions your worth, misinterprets your actions, or speaks to you with disrespect. There is a strong temptation to explain yourself, to clarify, to justify, to make sure they understand who you really are. But this is where many people unknowingly lower their own value, because explanation, when given to the wrong person, becomes a form of seeking approval. Seneca made it clear, a person who knows their worth does not feel the need to defend it endlessly. The more you explain, the more it appears that you are trying to convince, and the moment you are trying to convince, you are no longer standing in certainty, you are negotiating your identity. A Stoic understands that not everyone deserves access to their full explanation. Some people are committed to misunderstanding you, and no amount of words will change that. So instead of wasting energy trying to correct every false perception, they remain grounded, they speak when necessary, but they do not chase validation. And that restraint creates a quiet kind of respect right here. If you are starting to recognize how much energy you've wasted trying to prove yourself to others, subscribe to Stoic Spring, because building this level of inner clarity and control will change the way you see yourself and the way others respond to you. Behavior 3. Never ignore it completely. On the opposite side of reaction, there is suppression. Some people convince themselves that staying silent means being strong. They ignore disrespect. They pretend it didn't happen. They avoid confrontation at all costs. But this is not Stoicism. This is fear, disguised as peace. Because what you tolerate repeatedly becomes the standard. Others follow. Unaddressed disrespect does not disappear. It accumulates, it turns into internal tension, quiet resentment, and a slow erosion of self-respect. A Stoic does not react impulsively, but they also do not abandon their boundaries. They choose the right moment, the right tone, and the right words. They address the issue calmly, without emotional chaos, but with absolute clarity, because true peace is not built on avoidance. It is built on alignment between what you believe, what you tolerate, and how you act. And if those things are not consistent, you will always feel conflicted. Behavior. 4. Never seek revenge through others when someone disrespects you. There is often a desire to restore balance, but instead of addressing the situation directly, many people turn to indirect strategies. They complain to others, they gossip, they try to build alliances, they attempt to damage the other person's reputation. But this is not strength, it is dependence, because now your sense of control relies on external validation, on other people agreeing with you, supporting you, taking your side. Epictetus taught that a strong person handles their challenges with independence. They do not need an audience, they do not need approval. They either confront the situation directly with calm and precision, or they walk away without noise, because involving others in your conflict does not elevate you. It entangles you. It keeps you emotionally invested and prevents you from moving forward. Real power is simple. It is direct, it is controlled, and it does not need witnesses. Behavior 5. Never lower your standards to match their behavior. This is where most people fall because it feels justified. Someone disrespects you, so you respond in the same tone. You mirror their attitude. You match their energy. You give them exactly what they gave you. And in that moment, it feels like justice. But it is actually loss because you are no longer acting from your values. You are reacting from theirs. You are allowing their behavior to dictate your identity. And that is the most subtle form of surrender. The Stoic never forgets who they are. Their standards are not conditional. They do not rise and fall, depending on the situation or the behavior of others. They remain consistent because consistency is what builds character, and character is what builds respect. When you lower your standards, you may win the moment, but you lose something much bigger. You lose alignment with yourself, and without that, no external victory will ever feel like enough. Here is what most people never realize. Disrespect is information. It reveals how someone truly thinks, how they behave when they feel unfiltered, when they believe there are no consequences, and that insight is valuable because it allows you to make better decisions, who to trust, who to distance yourself from, who deserves access to your time and energy. Your response to disrespect is not just about control, it is about identity. Every moment of restraint, every decision to stay composed, every time you choose clarity over impulse, you are shaping who you become. Someone grounded, someone disciplined, someone who cannot be easily influenced in a world where most people react without thinking. The one who remains steady becomes rare, and what is rare is respected. So stay aware, stay composed, and most importantly, stay in control of what truly belongs to you, your mind. And if you want to keep strengthening that control every single day, subscribe to Stoic Spring, because the more you train your mind, the more you protect your peace, and the more your life begins to change. Now tell me in the comments, what is one moment where you wish you had stayed calm instead of reacting? Because awareness is where real mastery begins.